start, I know I'm asking about him and he's sitting right next to you, it's weird, but still, what impressed you about what Pascal was able to do today? And obviously he's been going up against literally the best defenders in the league throughout the course of these playoffs. What has it taken to find him some opportunities where you feel like you guys did well at that tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we brought him here. You know, that's what he's here to do. Is, you know, he can get a bucket in so many different ways. He started the game hot. We just kept feeding him, and I thought he did a great job of making big shot after big shot after big shot. You know, killing momentum. You know, I think when you're in an environment like this, the crowds get into it. You know, a lot of those shots can be, you know, backbreakers at times. I thought he just kept making big play after big play, and yeah, he was amazing for us. So, you know, big reason, you know, why we won today. Yeah, that's why we brought him in.
Pascal, something different about the coverages today for you? What kind of do you feel like led you to having so many more opportunities than you liked?
No, just, you know, whatever was out there, I just took it. And I think what makes us special as far as a team is just we have different weapons, you know, and we're not consumed with who's going to do what. You know, like we just go into the game and whatever the game, you know, however the game presents itself, that's how we go and take it and do it that way. And it doesn't matter who scores. And for me, again, I just trying to play my game and shout out to my teammates just finding me and you know, making sure that you know I stayed aggressive the whole game and again it's going to take all of us to get where we want to get to.
Pascal, just matching up against OG, former teammate, how much are you enjoying being on the court and sharing one against him?
Yeah, I mean it's amazing that we're both in a position where you know we get to compete at this level, coming from Toronto. So it's amazing, and you know I think it just gives you kind of like extra motivation to just continue to compete at the highest level. And I know how hard of a competitor he is, so yeah, it's a good feeling.
Pascal, you ever talk to these guys about that championship experience you have? And is this the time of year that you start doing it, or you hold that back for more games?
Oh, I mean, I think for me, like I kind of just been preaching the same thing. Like we just got to be, we can't ride the waves. You know, like can't get too high with the highs, can't get too low with the lows, and you know, I just appreciate the opportunity that I have here to, you know, have a bunch of guys that, you know, they want to hear my voice. They want me to, you know, to say something, and they know I'm kind of a shy, not shy, but I'm just kind of to myself and. It's been amazing to be in this, you know, in this city, this team, this organization. Just the confidence that they have in me, you know, to continue to just lead, and you know, I just try to, you know, do my best, you know, there and there, you know, throw some words in there, but you know, they know, you know, I care about winning, and that's the reason I'm here.
You see any similarities between the shot he hit in game one and the one Kawhi hit on you guys had?
I mean, I think. Well, the bounce, there's a lot of, you know, different bounces. Like, it's one bounce, a long bounce, but I was still watching both of them. I mean, I was, you know, the Kawhi shot, I was watching it. His shot, I was watching it. I almost jumped for his. But no, it's just two incredible plays. You know, special players make special plays, and I'm just blessed that I'm a part of it.
Pascal, you know what it takes to go all the way and win the championship. When you look at this Pacers team that is now only 6 wins away from winning it, do you see any similarities between this team and the Raptors that went all the way?
I think for us, we focus on ourselves, man. We have a long way to go, and it's only going to get tougher for us, you know. And I think we just got to continue to, you know, stick to the plan. We worried about one game, like we're not really, you know, thinking ahead. Like it's. We focus on Game 3 at home. Can't wait to get back to our fans. Like, you know, they're itching to, you know, to have us out there, and I know it's going to be crazy. We can't wait to play in front of them. Yeah, like that's our focus, to be honest. Game 3.
Ty, what does the second All-NBA mean to you, especially after the start of the season?
Yeah, special. Obviously, early in the year, I was trash. You know, we didn't have a great start of the season, and you know, my teammates did a great job of picking me up and you know, keeping me engaged. And you know, I think that, you know, the All-Star break for me, being able to, you know, get away from the game for a little bit, relax, kick my feet up, you know, get my mind right, really propelled me to have a better second half of the season. And I'm just really blessed, man. You know, it's always great to get, you know, that honor, and it means a lot for me, you know, from where I come from, and especially the way I started the season. You know, but I don't think individual awards come unless there's, you know, group success. And you know, we've had so many different guys step up in so many different ways and do very special things. So, it's not possible without, this guy next to me, my coach staff, all my teammates, front office, all the fans. It's not possible without them. So anytime I get this recognition like that, it means a lot. But, we're striving for a lot more. So, yeah, it's special.
Ty, you've been a part of Indianapolis now for a few days now. Race day and game 3 on the same day. How special are you expecting Sunday to be?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've been to the 500. You been to the 500? No, I've been to the 500. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I can't imagine all those people then coming over to Gainbridge. It's going to be a rowdy crowd, maybe a little intoxicated. Who knows what it'll look like out there. It's going to be a special time, but it's going to be a lot of fun. There's been a lot of people in our organization. The Pacers have a special thing about our organization. It feels like everybody in our organization has worked there for like 30 years, and so I think that everybody's talked about it and how special it is. So for me to now get the chance to experience it, it's going to be a lot of fun. Planning to come into the facility maybe a little earlier, maybe the drive will be a little longer. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I think the energy in Indy is so special right now, not only from what we're doing, but the fever, people are loving what they're doing as well. So the energy in Indy, and then obviously the 500 as well. So the energy's been amazing, and we're just blessed that we're able to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to it.
We can do one more, guys. Dustin.
Yeah, just two guys I want to ask about real quick. Obviously, Miles hits 13 to 16 in the fourth, comes down with that huge rebound. How critical was the moments that you got from him after he'd gone through foul trouble, and also Ben Shepherd had another big night tonight in terms of what he was able to do, 2 big threes, and the defense he had on his mock process. How important were each of those guys in this one?
Yeah, I think it's what's really special about our group right now is we just have so many different people contributing and so many people doing special things. Miles had an amazing fourth quarter there. He's big time. Ben Shepherd has really stepped up these last 2 games. I think coming into these games and how the game is flowing, sometimes it looks like, okay, maybe he's not. You don't even know if he's going to play. When he gets thrown out there and has to guard Jalen Brunson, that's a tough task. He made a huge shot today. I thought he was really big. And then shout out to Tony Bradley. Tony Bradley's huge. He came in. Came in for us. And really got really thrown in with our group that's been together for so long. Tony is just such an awesome guy, and he contributes in so many different ways. And when we're doing our scout through all these series, he's had to be kind of that scout center. And there's been times where, he kind of gets thrown in with our first group to, take some of Miles' reps, when, guys are going through things or a little banged up or whatever the case may be. So, it's just so special to see what our group is doing. I think that's what comes with being part of a special group. Many different people can contribute at any time. And we know, many people have had to step up in different ways at different times. And that's been the special part about this season is, we lost both of our backup bigs, but then 5 games to Achilles, and then Aaron and Andrew are out for an extended period of time early in the year. Quentin Jackson, a 2-way guy for us, is then starting. It's been special to see. It really fun, and that's what makes this group so special. How close we are, how many people have to step up, and we understand even in our scout how important our 2-way guys are. They don't get to suit up, but how important they are for us preparing and giving us different looks, and that goes down up and down our organization. So, it's a special group right now. We're just having a lot of fun.
Drew, what was the key in the fourth quarter to building and keeping that lead?
I think the key for that quarter and the whole game was just getting those defensive.
Much tighter game than the last one in a lot of ways. Difficult, physical. Thought our guys held their composure very well through some runs and a lot of crowd noise and a lot of commotion, and they kept their poise. So it's day 3 of 13 days, and no one's getting ahead of themselves. There's a lot of work to do.
What did you make of what Pascal did today and the opportunities he had throughout the night?
Special game. Early in the first half, he was the guy that got us going and got us through some difficult stretches. Thought he really picked his spots to be aggressive. He ran great. He did everything. He attacked the rim. He was great in mid-range, and he the 3-point shot was there. And so, it's hard to score that number of points in a game like this where you always have a physical matchup defensively, and there's a guy crashing and flying at the basket, but he did a phenomenal job, and it's a quiet 39 points. It really was.
You mentioned just the tough matchup he had. He's had obviously really difficult matchups the entire playoffs, from Giannis to Evan to OG. Just what's it been like for him to work through those scenarios and find his opportunities over the course of the series when he's dealing with that caliber of talent?
Yeah, he's a veteran who's been in these situations multiple times. He understands the importance of patience and being disciplined and understanding, the NBA playoffs are a process. You have to keep working the process. Whatever your process is within the team. He never forces it, and when we get in a bind late clock, he can get a shot up in the rim, and a lot of times it goes in. And so, he's been great. Been great all year.
This is 6 straight playoff wins on the road for you guys now. Just mentioned this game prior, like about the points you guys are showing on this road.
I'm not focused on that. We got to, last time we played at home, I guess we won the last time we played at home, but the game before that we lost. And so there are a lot of traps here. You cannot assume going home is going to be easier. It never is. Each game as you ascend in a playoff series becomes harder. And New York is, they've got an amazing fighting spirit, and so, we're gonna have to keep concentrating on our process, making it hard on them, trying to keep tempo in the game, and the rebounding, in the rebounding, it was better tonight. We lost the overall rebounding battle, but we didn't get hurt nearly as bad on the offensive boards, and that's something we got to continue to focus on. Started what?
It's the second game that you guys started really well right up to tip off. What do you see is working on?
We're just trying to play our game, and you get in an environment like this where there's so much noise, and so much going on, and so many distractions. If you allow yourself to be distracted, we always talk about let the noise and all this other stuff be something to help trigger a narrowed focus on your teammates, on your job within the team, and so we had some success doing it in the first couple games. Going home is going to be a different kind of challenge.
TJ McConnell. With the first and second quarter, what was the difference between the first half and the second half? You think they were making it harder?
Well, I thought the third quarter was a very good quarter for us. It was 32-29, and we're at Madison Square Garden, which is one of the ultimate road environments with a tie game going into the fourth quarter, and really that's all you can ask for. And then now we've just got to try to execute as well as we can. And so, look, our bench did a really good job. I thought McConnell was terrific. Toppin had an underrated night. Tony Bradley hasn't played in the series, but he's one of our better rebounders, and so we elected to go with him to spell Miles a little bit. But we're a team that needs everybody. So that's how we got to play. But the second half, we kept good energy in the game. Our bench, McConnell, Toppin, Shepard did a really good job tonight. All our guys did a good job.
Greg?
It was about TJ. He did a terrific job. He did what he did in the third quarter, kind of breaking the defense down. Is that just kind of what TJ does, or something different better?
Well, at this time of year, you have to play with a certain attitude. You have to play with a defiance. And it's kind of defined TJ's 10-year career in the NBA. And so he's done a great job throughout the playoffs of playing his game and not allowing some difficult situations deter him from keeping his focus on what he needs to do to help the team. So tonight I thought he was a real key to the game, and we're gonna need the same effort from everybody when we go home.
Asked about him in pregame. Ben Shepherd obviously hits 2 big threes and also gets you a lot of minutes there on Jalen. Just how important, again, was he tonight to give you what he continues to do?
He's always ready. And when you play against teams that at the point of attack are very strong, you need runners and movers and people that can scramble up the game a little bit offensively, and he just a couple times he found, I think 3 times he found really good shots. I think he made 2 out of 3, and those were big plays. The one in the fourth quarter, I think it was, or maybe it was late third, up on top. That was a big momentum play at that moment.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. It'll be Pascal and Tyrese.